वायुपुत्राय वज्रंगबली पंचवक्त्राय महाकाय ओम नमो आंजनेयाय। संकटमोचन महाबलाय वायुपुत्राय वज्रंगबली पंचवक्त्राय महाकाय ओम नमो आंजनेयाय।
Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Gently open your eyes. We will chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena
Devan bhavayatanena
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Shreyah paramavapsyatha
Shreyah paramavapsyatha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Taidatta तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः
तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः
यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः
यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः
ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्
ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि
पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः
पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last session, we were seeing some dimensions of Bhavaka, very, very powerful principle, because it is only through your bhava, intention, that you can achieve anything which you want. In the spiritual path, we lay a lot of emphasis on bhava. The external actions being the same, the bhava or the intentions can be so different. A person may smile externally, but what is his intention? He may actually be feeling very jealous about you. Possibilities. He may, this possibility is also there. First thing is, he may genuinely feel happy about you, or he may be feeling jealous about you, or he may be having a superiority complex. So a kind of a smile with derision, you know. The action being one and the same, there could be varied intentions. And that is why when it comes to the spiritual path, these masters always say, look into your bhava. The easiest thing to change is your external action. Even that people are finding it very difficult, but relatively, when you see it with reference to the inner changes, the first thing that can be changed are your expressions. But that doesn't mean anything. Merely that means nothing. And that's why William Shakespeare said, one may smile and yet be a villain. That has been so beautifully portrayed in the Mahabharata. What has been given in our ancient wisdom is actually complete. Parts of this wisdom was discovered by various thinkers in different parts of the world at different periods of time. So in the Mahabharata, two people smiled. One was Lord Krishna, the other was Shakuni. Smile means they had the nature of smiling all the time. So Lord Krishna used to smile a lot. Shakuni also used to smile a lot. But the bhava, the intentions were totally different. That's where this line comes, which Shakespeare has given, fits in very well. One may smile and yet be a villain, like Shakuni. Actually, the entire Mahabharata war was between Krishna and Shakuni at the intellectual level. So, as a sadhak, if you want to truly evolve spiritually, look into your bhav, look into your intentions. People who have silently put in all the effort have gained maximum. One thinker made a beautiful statement. He said, don't keep bragging about what you want to achieve, whatever your goals are to others. Just work silently and fulfill your goals. And let the fulfillment of your goals, that is, let your achievement make noise. Let people see. They will get the message. But we don't do that. Before we achieve anything, just the fact that we have fixed a goal, now that is a very big boost for the ego. So it wants to immediately call everyone and tell, I have fixed this goal, I have fixed that goal. Now, what happens is the ego takes pride in sharing the goal. The result of that is that you slacken in terms of your efforts. So great achievers, they don't keep bragging about their goals. They put in a lot of effort towards achievement of their goals, and when they become achievers, people start noticing them. And then when somebody interviews and asks, what is the formula for your success? Is it at that time they may share. That is a different matter. So we have this habit of not doing the right things with the right bhavana. So as a sadhak, you should do some soul searching, you should look within and set right your bhavana. When you are listening to this, let your bhavana be very simple, very pure, like a child. If you have that kind of a purity, what will happen is you will receive maximum. When after the session, you're noting down your points, you're recapitulating, you're putting it in the YouTube section, do it with a nice bhavana. Don't think about, what if this point is wrong? See, you can do the same thing in order to impress others. Or sometimes some people try to impress the guru. These things will not work in the long run. Ultimately, you are rewarded for your bhavana. If you just wish someone, wish with full bhavana. Whatever you give will come back to you. Will come back to you with greater force. So whenever you wish someone, have a very nice day, good morning, whatever it is, your wish, let it come from the depth of your heart. Feel it and say it. And when you start wishing others, when you start wishing for others' welfare, now what will happen? That energy which you're building will rebound. It will come back to you with 1,000 times greater force. You will receive all the blessings. It's a very beautiful formula if you understand it. That is why the first dimension of Bhavaka which was given to you was promoting another's welfare. Always thinking in terms of doing good. The opposite of that is always thinking in terms of negative things. Always thinking always thinking about those things which will have negative consequences later. See, sometimes when you're doing it, you will not know it has negative consequences. But ignorance of the law is not an excuse. These are all eternal laws of life. Whether you know that fire will burn or not, if you put your finger in the fire, it will burn. You can't say, I didn't know. Okay, now you know. So whether you know about the law of karma or not, all that is irrelevant. These are all eternal laws which are functioning with mathematical precision. So when you gain this wisdom, especially using the yogic approach, when you're getting into the depth and gaining this wisdom, now you get the you get the opportunity, you're given the opportunity to understand these laws of life and start practicing them as much as possible. I would say 100% you should practice for your own benefit. So wishing or promoting another's welfare. So wherever it starts with a wish, and then wherever you need to take action, you don't hesitate to act. That is called bhavaka. The more you generate this feeling of let everyone be wonderful, let everyone prosper, let everyone get whatever it is that they are seeking, the more you generate this energy, that energy will transform you and it will help you to attract all the abundance in life, not only in terms of material abundance but spiritual abundance also. This is the secret of all the yogis. He is introducing this principle of bhava here, and then later on he'll be defining it even more clearly, where he'll say function for the sake of loka sangraha. Loka sangraha means the welfare of the loka, the welfare of the world. It's when we come there, we will see that in more depth. But first start practicing this. Then when it comes to materialization of your goals, we saw 3 dimensions of bhavaka: conception, thinking and feeling. They are very powerful dimensions. See, when the yogis say that you are the creator of your destiny. You are the creator of your life. Now, what exactly are they meaning? How is it that you are creating various things in life? It is through this process: conception, thinking and feeling. Following this is the action. But action without these three will not really create anything. Now, the most interesting part is, whether you know about this or not, anyway you are creating your life. Since you are ignorant about this law, this process is happening automatically within you, and you are creating all unwanted things, negative things in your life. Sometimes you create positive things, sometimes you create negative things, but you don't even know what is happening, why these things are happening to you, because you have not understood the inner system which is creating this. So whether you are aware of this or not, anyway you are the creator of your life. That is the law of karma. The law of karma is not a pessimistic law. Whatever you did in the past, now most people understand law of karma in a very limited way. That too, they only talk of past birth. And whatever you did in the past birth, now you will have to suffer. They use the word suffer. It's not like that. Past means this moment backwards. What you did yesterday, what you did 1 minute back, your thoughts, that is whatever you conceive, whatever you think and whatever you feel. Then only comes the action. So why go up to the past birth and all that? Let's take this birth. You are given whatever you are given in life according to your karmas. Here karmas means who is determining those karmas? It is you. By what is determining your karmas? What you conceive, what you think, what you feel, and then the action that follows. So a person may be a very good person, but let's say he is riddled with fear about a particular disease. Now he will conceive that disease, he will start thinking about the disease all the time, he will start feeling, all his emotions will start running, and the result will be he will get the disease. You know, long back I had read this article wherein these people had done research, and they found that a lot of doctors, medical doctors, those who were specialists in a particular disease, they ended up getting the same disease. So the research is on as to find out as to why that is happening. That is a very interesting finding, Why is it that they end up in that way? Because all the time they are dealing with that disease. So they are conceiving, thinking, feeling the same thing day in and day out. That is why I always say doctors require the spiritual wisdom so much, because they need to master this process so that they don't allow the negative inputs to come and affect their minds. So when it comes to karmas, we are not talking of mere morality or ethics. Karma means action in very simple terms. It may be physical action, it may be emotional action, which is emotion, feeling, it may be intellectual action, which is thinking and conceiving. And then we are talking of impressions, which is directly at the karmic level. All these are karmas only. Now, most people understand the law of karma in a very limited way, as if it is, whatever you do and the punishment which you are given, which is being given to you. It is not like that. Law of karma is nothing but the law of action and reaction. That's all. At all levels. In physics, when Newton gave out this law, it was at the physical level. Now our yogis have applied that at the emotional level, at the thought level, and at the karmic level, spiritual level also. So every thought which you generate is a karma. Every emotion which you generate is a karma. Whatever you conceive is a karma. Whatever you do is a karma. Whatever you speak is a karma. That will have a reaction. That will have a consequence. You cannot say, I will do whatever I want, I'll think whatever I want, I'll feel whatever I want, but I want good consequences. That is not possible. The reaction is like the echo which comes back to you. The action is like the sound which you generate. When you throw a ball on the wall, it will rebound, it will come back to you. This is the law of karma. It may come back to you today, it may come back to you tomorrow, it may come back to you after 10 years, it may come back to you in the next birth, it may come back to you after several births. We are not really bothered about the time period here. See, as sadhaks, we need to study and understand the logic of this law first. So, last week I had covered that question also, which someone had asked. Why is it that good people suffer and bad people are enjoying? And this is because of a misunderstanding of this law. A good person, if at all that person suffers, it's not because of goodness, but it's because of other wrong karmas which that person may have done. Here by wrong, what I mean is, whatever has to be done in a particular field, when avoided, is also karma. See, supposing a student has to pass in an examination. Now, if he has to study and then write the examination. So, studying and preparing well is a karma which that student has to do. Supposing the student does not study, he keeps whiling away his time. But he is a very good person. He's got good emotions. Still, he will fail in the exam. Let's take another student. That student is a very negative person. He's got negative emotions, negative intentions, bad person, in your language, putting it in quotes. But that person studies, prepares himself very well for the examination. That student will pass. Now you can't say, he is such a good boy, but he's failing. That boy is such a bad boy, but he's passing. It's not because of the goodness he has failed, it's not because of the badness he has passed. That is a reaction for some other action, some other karma. So, the law of karma is not restricted to morality or ethics. It is all pervasive. Everything which is happening in life is either an action or a reaction. You need to open your eyes and start seeing this. So, now coming to your life, whatever is happening in your life is your own creation. When they say that, it is not a pessimistic philosophy. What it means is, today you have the power to create. See, if you merely say what you did in the past janma, now you are suffering. It means what you do now, you will reap it only in the next birth. That becomes a very pessimistic philosophy. That is not what our yogis are saying. This minute, which means right now, you have the power to choose. Start choosing the right thoughts. Conceive the right things. Think about it. think about them, and then start attaching your feelings to them. Then it's only a question of time. You will neutralize the past and you can create a future which is very positive. So all the time this mechanism is happening. Conception, thinking and feeling. Conception, thinking, feeling. And then the action is being generated. Action may be physical action or it may be speech, whatever it is. So this is constantly happening within you. It's like a machine, which is constantly running. And that is what is creating your life today. So whether you know it or not, you are the creator of your life. So what is the difference between a yogi and a normal person? A normal person is not aware of this process. He is a victim to this system. Whereas a yogi becomes very powerful because he becomes aware of what is happening within him, and he is not only aware, he gains control or mastery over the system. He chooses what to conceive, he chooses what to think about, and he chooses what to feel. That is a tremendous power. It comes through sadhana, it comes through tapas. So in the yogic approach we always say, never be ignorant. Anything which you do in life, do it with full awareness. This wisdom gives you that awareness. That's why I asked you to do that homework last week, just to see if you face, whatever problem it is that you're facing in life, where are your thoughts running, where are your emotions running. Invariably you will find that your thoughts and emotions are attached to whatever it is that you don't want. So a yogi through sadhana gains this power to detach from his mind, detach himself or herself from the mind, and then use the mind for materializing whatever the chosen goals are. How? The mind consists of, mind can conceive, the mind can think, and the mind can feel. Here we are using the mind in a general term. If we go into specifics, we can even divide thinking as a buddhi, intellect, feeling as a mind. Now we are using the mind in a general term because manas incidentally means everything. That is what is most interesting with respect to the Sanskritam language. Mind means emotions, mind means intellect also. So, your own mind today is not under your control, but that doesn't mean it's not functioning. Today it is constantly functioning, you're not even aware of it. And it is keeping you as a slave. You are a slave to your own mind. Through sadhana, what is it that we achieve? We achieve mastery over our own minds. And what is that mastery? Mastery over this process. Conceiving, thinking and feeling. So anything you want in life, consciously you can conceive. And then consciously you can generate your thought force towards that goal. And then consciously you can choose your emotions and direct those emotions towards that goal. Then that goal becomes very powerful. You will be inspired to act. Whatever necessary actions you need to do, you will automatically perform. And you will materialize your goals. See, if you want, you can rewind this later on and see this portion again, because words have been carefully used. Choosing your emotions. You may ask me, sir, where do I have a choice there? My emotions are just coming on the road. That's because over a long period of time you have not trained you're not trained yourself. So your mind is running helter-skelter today without your control. All the sadhana is aimed towards mastery over the mind only. The mind is your tool. Whether you want to achieve things in the world or whether you want to uplift yourself spiritually, it is the mind. So the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana is used to remove all the blockages which are stored in your mind. The empowerment programs which we have every year, they are aimed at removing those karmic blocks in a very powerful way, so that you become free from the influence of your own mind. Then only you can start using your mind effectively. When you're riddled with a lot of impressions, you become a captive of your own mind. So our entire Puranas are giving this message only. The demons, in any Purana you take, any particular negative character, he or she would represent your ego, the negative mind. And then that person is killed by the divine force. Means your own ego has to be conquered, your own mind has to be conquered. In Srimad Bhagavatam, a beautiful incident is reported. Lord Krishna dancing on the hoods of the snake Kaliya. Kaliya had occupied the river and the whole water had become poisonous. Kaliya had many hoods. What is it representing? Kaliya represents the ego. Today the ego has occupied the mind, that is, the Kaliya has occupied the river, and the entire mind has become poisonous today. Poisonous means the mind has become so negative. So anybody who drank that water used to die. Means it had negative repercussions. The fumes themselves were so dangerous. But what did Lord Krishna do? He plunged right into the river and fought with that snake, Kaliya. And he tamed the snake. And once he tamed the snake, he started dancing on the hoods. That is what they call, no? It is a very famous photos and all you would have seen, no? Where Krishna is dancing on Kaliya. Now you should understand the deeper message behind it. Merely reading it as if you are reading a novel is no use. These great masters, they are giving out such deep sadhana messages through these incidents. So you need to tame your own ego. Then the lake of your mind will become very pure. So dancing on top of the hoods of Kaliya represents the mastery which he had gained over his own ego and mind. And the dance represents joy. The real joy, real bliss comes when you gain complete mastery over your own mind. When you are a slave to your mind, you are a slave to your emotions, you are a slave to your moods, you are a slave to your thoughts. How can you be happy? So what is the way? This is the way. Conception, thinking, feeling. So this has been given to you now. I asked you to do the homework. Continue with that homework this week also. Start becoming aware of what is happening today in your life. All the time your feelings are attached to those negative things which you actually don't want in life. It could be disease, it could be fears, it could be another person's negative behavior. All the time your conception, thoughts and emotions are attached to those negative things only. So do your daily sadhana. Invoke the Guru Shakti. The Guru Shakti will give you that strength. We are going to have the launch of Sri Hanumat Dhyana, powerful launch on the 10th of November. Already many people who saw the promo itself, they started getting a lot of healing. That's what they have reported. Yes, that promo has also been energized, Just one line has been put in that. That itself can create such a powerful effect. Imagine how the whole Yoga Sankirtan would be. So all these tools are being prepared meticulously and they are being made available to you so that you can use them and gain complete mastery over your own mind. You should do your sadhana. And one who masters this process genuinely can become a great achiever in life. So even when people achieve, whether they are good or bad, if they are achievers in life, you observe, they would have practiced this unknowingly. Even a negative person, in order to achieve his goal, he would have conceived that, thought about it and attached all the feelings there. He may not be knowing this process today. So this is what is bhavaka. Last week I explained these points to you. This week a little more subtler aspects of the same points have been given to you. Now I will also give you 2 or 3 more dimensions. That should be more than sufficient for you. As I told you, each principle is infinite in nature. By itself, the entire wisdom can be derived. But in this context, whatever is required, I'll tell you. For a person whose basic bhavana is that of promoting another's welfare, number 1, and who has mastered these 3 things, conception, thinking and feeling, for such a person, the next dimension which is going to be given will be very useful. That is, bhavaka means imagination. What is imagination? Generally, we say no, be grounded, don't keep imagining things. We normally tell, supposing a person is just sitting and daydreaming, they don't imagine unnecessary things. You be grounded, be realistic. We say that. But bhavaka means imagination. See, when your mind comes under your control, you can use this power of imagination very effectively. First of all, you should understand that mind thinks in terms of pictures. See, what do we mean by imagination? Whenever you start seeing movies or pictures, that's how the thoughts are generated, no? You always keep thinking in terms of pictures. That aspect is called imagination. So supposing I were to ask you to imagine the moon. Now you just have to close your eyes and start thinking about the moon. Immediately the picture of the moon will come in your mind. That is how you will start imagining. So that capacity to picturize, the mind's power to picturize is called as imagination. Bhavaka directly means imagination. When your mind is not under your control, what the yogi says, don't imagine. Don't use that power, because curb the imaginations, be realistic, be grounded. Because if a person has no control over the mind and he starts imagining, Now he will start imagining anything which he wants, and he will slowly move away from the realities of life. And invariably, you will start imagining all the negative outcomes. A child is, let us say, 15 minutes late from school. He should have been back at this time, 4 o'clock, let's say. Till 4:15, the child hasn't come. Now, immediately the mind of the parent starts imagining what would have happened. Would the child have fallen somewhere? Would the child have been kidnapped by somebody? So many, and it's not mere statements. The mind starts visualizing all that. A movie starts running inside. All the time, if you were to observe your mind, there is so much of imagination which is going on. So the yogis said, curb those imaginations till your mind comes under your control. But for those people who have practiced sincerely the three things, conception, thinking and feeling, and who have brought their minds to a good amount of control, for such people, imagination becomes a very good tool. Because once you're able to choose, and once you're able to maintain mastery, now materializing can be easily done by imagining that particular outcome. If you want something, you just have to conceive it, think about it, feel it. That was what was good. And you can use the power of imagination to make it very real within you. You can run that movie and keep playing it. And whatever movie is running within your mind will start playing outside also. You will start materializing those things in the external world. When you meet a person, if the movie which is running is that person is going to insult you, that person will insult you. Actually also. You may justify it by saying, no, it is because previous time I met that person, he insulted, that is why it is. Still today what is happening? That's what we are discussing. So, imagination is a very, very powerful force or a gift which has been given to the mind, but when it is not under your control, it can play havoc. This is the symbolism of Lord Ganesha. Lord Ganesha is sitting. If you see the photograph of Lord Ganesha sitting majestically. Nowadays they are also imagination runs wild, and they are painting a Ganesha who's sleeping, Ganesha who's having a guitar, what is all I really don't understand. Originally, Lord Ganesha is supposed to be sitting majestically. Lot of food items are kept below him. And there is a rat, Moshak. The most interesting part is, the Moshak does not eat the food. The Moshak is looking at Ganesha with folded palms, half folded, something like this, as if asking permission from Lord Ganesha whether I can eat the food or not. Have you ever seen any rat or its family very patiently waiting for permission and all that? If you put a rat in your kitchen where a lot of food items are kept, or on your dining table, within few minutes it will create chaos, isn't it? But here the Moshak is asking for permission. That is again very symbolic. The Moshak represents your mind, the power of imagination. It can play havoc if it is not under your control. But Lord Ganesha has the Moshak well within his control. The Moshak will not touch even one small bit of the food, very tasty food which is kept, all the modak sweets, everything is kept in front. But it will not touch anything till he gives it permission. That is the very message conveyed by describing Lord Ganesha in that way, So the Moshak within you is your own mind, the power of imagination that can play havoc if you are not careful. You find out in life, in most of the situations, 99% of your fears have never come true. But you have only kept fearing and unnecessarily lost your peace of mind. Yet we continue to do the same thing. This was manifest fully during the COVID time, Even today, I find many people, they just catch a normal cold or a simple fever. Earlier we used to take it and solve it in a very simple way. But the moment that happens, immediately the mind starts imagining, what if it is this infection, what if it is that, what if it is lung cancer? There is no end to this. Imagination, when left to its own, will create all kinds of fears within you. Everyone is riddled with fears. And you see, all those fears are actually baseless. They are only possibilities, negative possibilities which have been imagined by your mind. And in the process of imagining, conception, thinking, feeling, everything has been perfectly followed. See, you are following all this so perfectly with respect to negative things. So now it is time to change the direction. The force is there within you, but the direction is wrong. When it is directed towards a negative, you will devolve. When it is directed towards a positive, you will start becoming divine and godly. So this is a very important dimension of bhavaka. I didn't mention it last time because I first wanted you to absorb the three dimensions of conception, thinking and feeling first. So straight away, don't use this tool of imagination. Ensure, you should be sure, you will know, if you observe yourself, you will know, yes, I will be able to imagine or picturize the positive things. Then you can go ahead. There is a word of caution which I am putting there. So in our Puranas, again they have explained, how did Lord Brahma create the world? Same process only. Conception, thinking, feeling, imagination. Whatever he imagines, he creates. This is again very, the deep message is there. Because ultimately, the power of Brahma, the power of creation is within you. And you are creating your world, you are creating your life in this way only. Today you are not aware of this process. Today you are not in control over the process. Through sadhana, through the yogic approach, we are becoming aware and slowly gaining control over this process. And if at all you have to imagine, why don't you imagine something positive? There is a story where a man was sitting in a place and his eyes were so red, tears were coming and he was doing and suffering so much. So a saint was passing by that side. He saw this person on the road, a beggar, but suffering. So he touched that man and immediately that man opened his eyes. And then he saw and he said, "Sir, Yes, sir. He said, what happened? Why are you suffering? He said, no, sir, I have been starving for last few days. I have not been getting food. So I thought I'll just sit, close my eyes, instead of just, suffering with this hunger. I thought I'll start imagining that I am having a lot of food and I'm eating. So to which the saint asked him, okay, but why is it that your eyes were watering and you were saying, you were suffering so much? He said, no, my imagination went to food, and then there was a green chili was there. So I started imagining that I took the green chili and I chewed it raw, and that it was so hot, that it went right up to my brain, and my eyes started watering, my eyes became red, and my tongue was burnt, and my stomach started burning. I started, even as he was saying that, he was very vivid in his explanation, description, To which the saint laughed. He said, anyway, this is an imagination only. You're imagining. Why can't you imagine that you're eating some nice sweets, some laddu or some gulab jam, something, some nice sweet, or some dish which will give you a lot of pleasure. No? Why do you have to imagine eating a raw chili and then you're suffering? See, the chili may have been an imagined one. Everything is imagined, but the suffering is real. Actual water was coming. Actually, you are going through that suffering. This is a very beautiful story which illustrates this point. Whether what you are imagining is actually real or not is not the question, but the suffering caused because of your imagination is real for you. So anyway, you are imagining. The world itself is nothing but a projection of your thoughts only. That is a further high principle, where they say this entire world is an illusion. It's like a dream world only. Just as your mind keeps on projecting dream world, they say this world is also a projection of your own mind. When that context comes, we'll see that. That's very high philosophy, Not mere philosophy, it's a reality only. But the point here is, whether what you're imagining is real or not is not the question. The consequence of that, suffering or happiness, is real for you. Therefore, these masters say, anyway, the world is an illusion. You're projecting everything. You might as well learn to project positive things first. Create a positive life for you. And then after that is the highest stage, Param Shreya, which is beyond negative and positive, where your mind becomes absolutely still and gets into that state of nothingness, which is the state of Purnam, infinite, completeness. So it all boils down to mastering your bhavaka. So imagination is a very powerful dimension of bhavaka. And then I'll give you two more, which will be very useful for you, especially in the spiritual path. Bhavaka means devotion, bhakti. Directly, bhavaka means devotion. Without devotion, you cannot hope to realize God. Devotion, intellect without devotion gives rise to arrogance and ego. Our great rishis were powerful thinkers, they were great intellectuals, but they were also great devotees. They had so much of devotion. That is what gave the balance. It is not enough if you master your thinking, intellect. You should also develop devotion in life. What is devotion? Devotion is nothing but love. When that love is directed, when affection, when that love is directed towards the world, we call it affection. When that love is directed towards the higher God, we call it devotion. When that love is directed towards your child, you say, I have so much of affection, love for my child. When that same love is directed towards something higher, let us say your guru, you say, I am devoted to your guru. It's the same emotion only. I am devoted to God. A person who does not have this love is a dry person. He becomes like a machine. Bhavana is nothing but pure love, devotion. And if you want to experience God, you don't require all these scriptural knowledge. All you need to do is call upon that Almighty, that Infinite, with a pure mind, with the pure emotion of love and devotion. That's all it is. Make your mind as pure as a newborn baby and call that Infinite. You will get that experience. The entire sadhana, all this wisdom, everything is to reach that state of purity only. The greatest of jnanis were great bhaktas. And incidentally, the greatest of bhaktas were great jnanis also. Externally, they may have manifested that one particular aspect. That is why Swami Vivekananda, who was looked upon as a great intellectual, when he was asked, he said, I am an intellectual outside, but actually I am a bhakta inside, he said. And his guru, Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, was considered to be a bhakta. He said, my guru was a bhakta outside, but he was an intellectual inside. Clear intellect, clear discrimination. The same Vyasa who compiled the Vedas, he wrote the 18 Puranas. It is the same Vyasa who also wrote the Mahabharata. And that is why in the Upanishads, how to reach God? Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Davaihi. Very, very powerful. You should have Shraddha, faith. You should have Bhakti. And with that you can meditate, dhyana, on the higher. So as you purify yourself, even your worldly transactions your love will become devotion there also. Because you will start seeing God in your own children. You will start seeing God in your own spouse. Today you may say that is very difficult. That is a different matter. But I am saying a stage will come where you will start seeing divinity in everyone, including your own spouse. I think you will agree, or you will tell me that, sir, that is the most advanced stage. But that also has to be reached. So when you start seeing God in all your worldly relationship, now that relationship will no longer be worldly. From affection and love, it will become devotion. And wherever your emotions are, love, wherever your love is, wherever your devotion is, that energy will fill you. And when you are devoted to God, that divine energy will start filling each and every pore of your personality. So bhavaka means devotion. See, after covering all that, now I am giving you these final two dimensions. One is devotion, because if you really ask me, all this mind control and all that, it is great to achieve. But devotion is the ultimate sadhana, because there you just give up your ego. You don't give up your efforts. Some people in the name of devotion, they say, I give up everything, I have given up everything to God, including my efforts. Don't do all. That is not true devotion. Giving up your selfishness, giving up your ego, giving up all your stress. See, when is your mind stressed? When you take up the burden on yourself, then that is when it is stressed. When you just surrender it to that divine, as William Shakespeare says, there is a divinity that shapes our ends, he says. There is that divine force which is present everywhere. Avanindri oru anuvum asayad, said a Tamil Siddhar. Without that supreme force, not even one atom can vibrate. When you start becoming aware of that supreme power, you may call that power as God, you may call that power with any name you want, Shiva, Vishnu, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that is that supreme power which is beyond us. Automatically, you bow down in devotion. Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, when you hear the name of God, when you hear, for example, Hari, and your hair starts standing on their ends, then understand that you have reached a high state of spiritual evolution. You don't need to do any special ritual in order to evolve spiritually. Just that devotion, sitting wherever you are. Devotion alone helps you to connect your mind to the divine. The rest all is only analysis. That is also useful. But ultimately, devotion helps you to fix your mind on God. Because many people keep asking me, sir, how to fix my mind on God? It is through devotion. And devotion is that innermost feeling of love, that love which springs from your innermost being naturally, spontaneously towards God. So, bhavaka means devotion, and when there is devotion, you will be able to focus. So, the next dimension of bhavaka is meditation. Bhavaka means meditation. Dhyana. I just now told you, devotion helps you to fix the mind. So when you fix the mind on something consciously, with full awareness and control, that is called meditation. If your mind runs on its own, that is not meditation. See, people don't understand first what is meditation. Just simply sitting and daydreaming is not meditation. That way, when you are attached to something, your mind will constantly keep thinking about that. Would you call it as concentration or single-pointedness? You will say that is distraction. A boy and a girl meet each other, they are 24 hours, they are thinking about each other. Have they become now great yogis? Ananyas Chinta, I have achieved. Do not say that. So meditation is consciously fixing your mind on something with full awareness and control. Control means whenever you want to withdraw, you should be able to withdraw. That is the power of a yogi. So that meditativeness is a capacity of your mind, of your personality. So a yogi develops that and uses that to become one with the infinite. So in our spiritual context, meditation is fixing the mind on the infinite, on that supreme reality, on that supreme power, consciously, with full awareness and control. All these conditions have to be fulfilled. So my mind is just running on its own. Oh, I'm thinking about God all the time. All the duties you have neglected in your life. This is just mental indulgence. Actually, most people, the mind plays tricks. You have to be very careful. Many a times what happens is, the mind tries to peg on to God in order to escape from something in life. Spirituality is not escapism. That's what Arjuna wanted to do. He was unable to face a challenge in front of him. He wanted to escape and run away. Krishna said, if you want to become spiritual, now face this. So the Yoga Sankirtan meditation sadhana can be, will become more effective if you practice all this. I'm giving you the advanced stage of meditation, but you may not be able to practice it 100% today. So to whatever extent you can do, you'll have to start off with it, and then your meditative capacity will keep on growing. Incidentally, in the next Yoga Sankirtana, Sri Hanuman Dhyana, one of the aspects is Dhyanastha Anjaneya. Dhyanastha means meditative. So the power of meditativeness is going to be triggered. That will help you so much in terms of controlling the mind. When we have the release, I'll explain about all this, further. We have a lot of time for that. So this is what is bhavaka. There are many more dimensions. I've given you several dimensions which are so powerful. Number one, promoting anyone's welfare. Conceiving, thinking, feeling. That's like a combination, which you need to master. Then comes imagination. Power of imagination, which is to be used carefully. And then devotion. And finally, meditation. Devotion will lead to meditation automatically. Devotion is not a state of weakness. Many people think a devotee means a very passive person who's Hanuman was one of the greatest devotees. No, he exhibited the power of devotion. So don't think devotion is a weak state. Many people, when they don't have the strength to face the challenges, they say, I leave everything to God. It is only a strong person who can be devoted. See, these concepts, these principles may be a little new to you, but this is what our Sanatana Dharma is teaching. It is said in our scriptures, God is for the strong people, not for weak-minded people. Devotion makes you strong, makes you a powerful person. It forms a protective layer. Your own mind, becomes so powerful. And it gives you that humility so that you don't harm anybody. You use it for positive, constructive purposes. That is the power of devotion. And internally it makes you so meditative. You will become a great yogi. Okay, so we will stop with that. A lot of points have been given. Reflect on them and start practicing them in your life. Absorb them and practice. Practice it with that bhavana. Practice to the extent you can, and you will find that your base level keeps on increasing. Don't think that you will have to master it 100% at one go. That you may find it difficult. So in stages you can gain complete mastery over your own mind. Okay, so now we'll have the Nididhyasana meditation. As I've been telling you, I'm preparing you all for the next release, the release of the next Yoga Sankirtan Sri Hanuman Dhyana through these Nididhyasana sessions, and also for the 22-day empowerment on attracting abundance, which we are going to have in the month of December. So focus here, gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I'm becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I'm going deeper and deeper into myself. I am not this physical body. I am not these various emotions and thoughts. I am that supreme, infinite reality. From this moment onwards, I choose to purify my bhavana and make it very strong. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. We had a very powerful session today. Use these principles to make your bhavana very powerful. That is the key. Okay? So as far as the announcements are concerned, on 10th of November, we are having the release of Sri Hanuman Dhyana. Some people have asked about online telecast of that event. That will be available on the 17th of November, the subsequent Sunday. So the details are there in the website. You can see that. So the actual event in the auditorium will be on 10th. The online event, the online telecast will be on the 17th. Instead of the usual Bhagavad Gita session, we'll be having the same thing. I will be sitting and specially giving the healing during that time. So for people from different parts of the world, you can, for the benefit of them, so you can benefit from that. And even the other sadhaks, it will be like a double benefit. And the 22-day empowerment program is in the month of December. It's going to be extremely powerful. Attracting abundance. Attracting abundance not merely from the worldly sense. That is a part of it. But attracting the divine abundance from all quarters. Converting your energy field into a very positive energy field which can attract like a magnet, That is going to be the focus. So that is required for you at this point of time. As you know, I don't sit and decide which empowerment to take and all that. Whatever message which I receive from the higher, do this, do that, that is being implemented. So this is what is very necessary for you at this point of time, that is being given to you. So kindly do your daily sadhana without fail, that is going to prepare you further to receive the blast of Sri Hanuman Dhyana release. 2 times we are going to have, one on 10th and other on 17th, and then in December the 22-day program is going to start. So much is coming. Your personal sadhana is very important. This is for you to benefit maximum. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.